Episode 12, Where You Come From. It happened on a Sunday afternoon. The sky was heavy with unfallen rain, a low hum in the air that made everything feel slower. Wei leaned against the basketball court fence, sipping a sports drink, when Chen said it. "You want to come over?" Just like that. No build-up. No ceremony. Wei blinked. "Your place?" Chen shrugged, looking away like it wasn't a big deal. "Yeah." Wei grinned. "Thought you'd never ask." Chen rolled his eyes. "Don't make it weird." Wei laughed. But inside he felt something warm spark to life. Chen's house was nothing like Wei's. Small. Worn. Lived in. The paint peeled in places. The garden out front was wild, overgrown with stubborn flowers. But it smelled like food and old books and something else. Something that made Wei's chest ache. It smelled like home. Chen's father, Chen Xiansheng, opened the door. At first, his eyes were cautious, measuring. Then they softened. "You must be Wei," he said, voice deep and a little rough. Wei bowed slightly, polite. "Nice to meet you, uncle." Chen's father clapped a heavy hand on Wei's shoulder. "Come in." The living room was cluttered but cozy. Old framed photographs lined the walls, Chen as a baby, Chen with missing teeth, Chen holding up a tiny basketball with a proud grin. Wei smiled before he could stop himself. Chen caught him looking and scowled. "Don't say anything." "Wouldn't dream of it," Wei teased. Chen's mother, Zhao Mailan, was resting on a recliner by the window. Her face was thinner than the woman in the photos. But when she smiled at Wei, it was so bright it filled the whole room. "You have kind eyes," she said softly. Wei knelt by her chair without hesitation. "I'm really happy to meet you," he said. Chen looked away, pretending to fiddle with the TV remote. Dinner was chaos. Chen's father cooked everything: rice, pork, vegetables, soup, piling the table until there was barely space to sit. Wei tried to help but was quickly shooed away. "Guest duty is to eat," Chen's father barked, grinning. They all sat down, bowls clinking, steam rising. Wei dug in like he hadn't eaten in days. "Careful," Chen muttered. "Don't choke." Wei smirked. "Your cooking's not this good." Chen's father laughed so hard he nearly dropped his chopsticks. "You hear that, boy? Even your friend knows I'm better." Chen grumbled into his rice. "Traitor." Wei leaned over, grinning wickedly. "Don't worry. I'll still eat your burnt dumplings next time." Chen kicked him under the table. Wei yelped. "Abuse." Chen's father chuckled. "Feels like I have two sons now." The words hit Wei harder than he expected. He hid it behind a laugh. But inside something settled. Something that tasted like belonging. After dinner, they sat outside on the stoop, drinking cheap tea from the corner shop. The air was cool and sweet with the promise of rain. Wei nudged Chen's knee lightly. "Thanks," he said. Chen grunted. "For what?" "For letting me in." Chen didn't answer. But he didn't move away either. And Wei thought. Maybe he didn't need the words. Maybe just being here, beside him, was enough for now. Narrator. Home isn't walls and windows. It's laughter you weren't expecting. It's a meal shared with someone who doesn't need to pretend. It's a fight over dumplings. A kick under the table. A quiet place on the stoop. where you can sit together and pretend the world isn't waiting to tear you apart. Pause. The gym smelled like sweat and polished wood. Chen Yu leaned against the wall near the exit, arms crossed over his chest, watching the rest of the team finish their drills. Wei was laughing with a few of the others, wiping sweat from his forehead with the hem of his shirt. His stomach peeked out briefly, taut with muscle, and Chen jerked his eyes away, jaw tightening. He hated moments like this. Moments when he remembered. Wei wasn't his. Would probably never be his. Chen shifted, shoving his hands deeper into his hoodie pockets. Coach called the end of practice, and the players started dispersing, shouting jokes and making plans for later. Wei jogged over to him, cheeks flushed from exertion, a towel slung around his neck. "You looked like you were ready to punch someone," Wei teased, bumping his shoulder lightly against Chen's. Chen snorted. "Maybe I was." Wei grinned, bright and stupid and beautiful. "Come on," he said. "Walk me back." Chen didn't argue. He never did, not when it came to Wei. They walked side by side through the empty corridors, their footsteps echoing softly. Outside, the sky had shifted into that strange, aching hour between sunset and night, all soft purples and bruised oranges. Chen kept his hands jammed into his pockets, fighting the urge to reach out. To grab Wei by the wrist. To pull him close. To confess all the things clawing inside his chest. But he didn't. Because he wasn't stupid. Because he knew some wounds didn't heal just because you wanted them to. Wei kicked at a stray pebble on the sidewalk. "Hey," he said suddenly, glancing at Chen out of the corner of his eye. "Do you ever think about, you know?" Chen frowned. "About what?" Wei shrugged, looking weirdly shy. "About getting out of here. About something better." Chen stared straight ahead. "All the time." Wei smiled, small and sad. "Yeah. Me too." They fell into silence again, the kind that wasn't exactly comfortable, but wasn't hostile either. It just was. Like a wound that had scabbed over but still ached when you touched it. When they reached the dorm, Wei lingered by the door, fiddling with the zipper on his jacket. Chen hesitated. Waited. Wei bit his lip, then blurted, "You're not as sparey as you pretend to be, you know." Chen blinked. Wei smiled crookedly, like he was letting him in on some private joke. "You're just bad at showing when you care." Chen swallowed hard, throat tight. He wanted to argue. Wanted to shove him away. Wanted to pull him close. Instead, he just said, "Yeah. Well. You're annoying." Wei laughed, that stupid, beautiful laugh that always made Chen feel like the ground was crumbling out from under him. "Takes one to know one," Wei said, grinning. And then, before Chen could say anything stupid, Wei ducked inside the building, waving lazily over his shoulder. Chen stood there for a long time after the door closed, letting the weight of everything he couldn't say press down on him. Narrator. Sometimes the deepest wounds aren't the ones we show to the world. They're the ones we hide behind jokes and distance. Behind walls built so high even we forget what we're protecting. But sometimes, if we're lucky, someone comes along who sees the cracks anyway and stays.